Hey guys, welcome back to RHR Jen. I'm so glad you're here, you guys. I am uh, streaming on a live chat, but there's something I really wanted to talk about with you all, and that is Meghan Markle's ridiculousness in New York. So I know you know what I'm talking about, but in case you don't, we need to talk about the car ridiculousness that happened in New York. So here she is. I see some of you saying, why isn't she in beige? I don't know. I do know. I have a guess, and I'll show you what my guess is. Actually, I don't have a guess. I got to give credit to Spicy and Squeegee, who came up with very interesting theories on this. Yeah, the whole thing is so bizarre. I wanted to zoom in and show you, and we're going to talk about all this, but here she is. That's my guess right there. Sorry, I had these out of order. I couldn't remember where it was. That's my guess as to why she wore the houndstooth. Anybody else in the world, I'd be like, whatever. She just happened to wear a houndstooth. Diana wore houndstooth. It's fine. With Meghan, I always think that there's something there. So I think it's more of that weird mommy, whatever behavior going on. I think that's very bizarre. And can you imagine? Again, I go back to think about your partner, your whatever, your husband, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. And their mother unfortunately passes away, and you decide the way to keep them, the way to their heart is to cosplay as their mommy. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird. Even if their mom didn't pass away, the idea of wearing her perfume, dressing like her, doing these things to invoke the memory is so bizarre to me. I can think of, I just think that takes the cake is the weirdness. Well, that and what Harry said in Spare about his Todger cream and his mom. Oof, gross. But here she is cosplaying as Diana. What else is new? That's her favorite thing to do. But I want to talk about this New York trip, this New York disaster trip. And I want to remind you all that that's also her favorite thing to do, is to have disasters in New York. In fact, before we get into this disaster trip, may I remind you of something? Well, let me show you this. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Here we go. Let me remind you. First of all, they're guarding her. From what? Who knows? Again, this is where I want to give John Witherspoon a shout out. He kind of explained these car convoys a little bit to me and how they work. If you don't know, John lives in DC and he sees all the politicians and the president and stuff going through. And he really helped me understand this a little bit better, because I couldn't make sense. I still can't make sense out of it, but he helped me understand it a little better. Thank you, John. But look at this ridiculousness. What are they guarding her from? The nobody that's near her? Oh no, she might be in real danger. Let me just go back and zoom in on her facial expression here. She seems like she's in real danger. Although that is the same face she was making with the near catastrophic car chase. So clearly that's her danger face. I just saw that, an old geezer. All right, let's keep going. I want to talk about this lady in just a second, but first, let me just show you these pictures. So they're guarding her from nothing, sure. Very important. So here you go. She hires an over-the-top 4-car motorcade for the Broadway night out. Absolutely abnormal. Gee, you think? So this is the story we're going to be talking about, but I just want to take a second and take us down memory lane, shall we? Okay, cool. Look at this. I would like to remind you of all her weirdness with New York, because I bet you've forgotten some of it. You ready? Let's start with her baby shower. I have notes down here, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. Her baby shower. Crap, I forgot to write down the year. Well, it would have been 2018, I think. I think so. That sounds about right. We'll go with that. It's somewhere around there. No, wait. Is that when they got married? I don't know. Who cares? You get the idea. Supposedly that's Archie. You can decide what's going on there. I don't care. Whatever's happening here, she's in New York. Okay. Remember in Revenge. Oh, Tom Bauer went hard into the baby shower, and so did I. I have whole episodes devoted to this. You can go find them and hear me break it all down. This thing was so ridiculous. I believe that the estimated total was around $400,000. They were guessing for this baby shower. Blink, blink, blink. She had to fly private because of security. Remember, she hitched a ride. I believe it was with Amal Clooney to this one. So much weird stuff going on at this one. So Tom Bauer goes into how it seemed to be a merging opportunity for a lot of the women, including Gayle King was there, and he thinks that some wheeling and dealing was happening with that. He got Captain Annoying, not just Meghan, but her annoying sidekick. What would her sidekick annoying name be? I don't know. You guys can let me know. Yeah. standing next to her. Again, they like, I don't know, they're in a contest to out annoying each other, but they walked in and out of this hotel through the front with the setup, not red carpet, but essentially a red carpet. You see what I mean? Like they set up a walkway for themselves so that way paparazzi could hang out and try to get a photo. How ridiculous. Super worried for security, but set up a walkway with paparazzi. So there's that. That was, again, I think 2018. I might have the year a little wrong. Maybe in 2019. Doesn't matter. Oh, you're good. 2019. There you go. The pre-Archie bash. And I wanted to show you, I believe it was thrown by Serena Williams. And yep, they estimated it cost between $300,000 and $500,000. And I don't think that even counts the private plane. That was a mall, I think, that they rode with on that. Now, I want to also remind you, that's not the weirdest thing they've done in New York. I would say this one is the near catastrophic car chase. One of my favorite things ever because it's so crazy. 2023, May, who could forget? May's a great month, just saying. It's my birthday, but May 2023, I remember this was quite a birthday present for me. They got into a near catastrophic car chase. When you're scared for your life and nobody buckles up and you smile and the paparazzi can lean in your window and take a picture because you're going so fast. Those, yeah. Okay. And I'd also like to remind you that I came up with nicknames that still stand for them. I called Doria Dopey because she's like, or no, I called her Sleepy. Well, Dopey works too. You can pick. Sleepy because she seems to be snoozing. When you're worried for your life and you have to take a nap in a car chase. What? And then Smirky in the middle, and then Dopey, I think is what I called him. So yeah, it would be Sleepy, Smirky, and Dopey. Yeah, there you go. So there's that. And then let's see them up close. Oh, there you go. And then here you go. Near catastrophic car chase, and then whatever is going on with Harry filming like this, as you do, right? That's how I film. No, it's not. And then I'd like to remind you that October 2023, they were back in New York. Every time they go to New York, it's a freaking disaster. I love it, honestly, when they go to New York because it's always something. Back in 2023, she was dressed like a massage table. I make myself laugh with that. I came up with that. It stands. It's like, at a massage table, they fold down the blanket. If you never had a massage, it's usually a table. They fold down the blanket so that way you can tuck yourself in. If you know what I mean? Like if you get undressed for the massage and you tuck yourself in, and they pull down strategically the blankets and stuff. So that way you're not like showing cash and prizes. That's what she dressed like. How you doing? If you're already boxes, why are you dressing like a box? I can't make sense out of it. Anyway, but yeah, there you go. There's this, but that was again October 2023 for that. And this one I'd like to remind you was a summit, and I say it like this because I kind of got transfixed by this one. This was ridiculous. It was a mental health summit. I believe it was. I know Carson Daly was involved. I can't remember if he threw it. It doesn't matter. It was in New York. They attached their name to it. My opinion is I think they threw money at it to get their names added to it, so it gave them something to do because they wanted to rewrite the algorithm because this was coming on the heels of the near catastrophic car chase. So I think that's what they were doing with this visit. And now I suspect that's what she's doing with this Gypsy visit. See, full circle. I'm going somewhere with this. Look, I want to remind you back then, they took seven car convoy, a single block in New York City. That was October 2023. They took 7 cars. This time, she only took 4. There they go being eco-warrior. I can't say that without laughing. That is so ridiculous. 7 cars for a block. A block. And I meant to pull it, and I don't have it, but I want to say thank you to Spicy, who reminded me of all the celebs, and several of you sent them to me, all the celebs that travel freely around New York City with little to no problem. And I'd like to remind you, I'm not saying who it is. You can decide it's The Rock. Nancy announced on her video, Nancy of the Sidley twins, that she and her boyfriend were in New York right around now. I think they're there now. I just saw recessions hitting everybody. That's right. Ashley, it is. So you need 4 cars instead of 7. That they're in New York, and she was demanding a entourage as well, which I think is very funny. But no, I was just going to say a lot of celebrities get around New York That's where a lot of celebrities live. Little to no problems. They don't need these big, stupid, over the top displays. And again, some of my friends behind the scenes made the point, if they didn't have these big car entourages, I don't know why. This is an inside Jen thing. I always want to call it an envoy, and I know that's not right. That's the diplomatic thing. That's not what it is. But I still want to say that word. So if I say that word, apologies. I know the right word. It's convoy. But for some reason, my brain can't catch up with that. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Let's keep going. What Meghan wants, Meghan gets. There you go. That's right. Oh, thank you, Northern Farm Girl. Yeah, Meghan wants to waste a bunch of money and go do ridiculous things. Yes, people are pointing out even Tom Hanks takes the bus. That's right. I've seen all kinds of celebrities like walking around, New York. I mean, it's just what you do. This is stupid. And if you really didn't want to draw attention to yourself, you wouldn't have these big car convoys. Let me show you this and remind you of this. Prince William went jogging in New York. He went to Central Park. This was September 2023, and no one noticed. And that's not saying anything bad about Prince William. That's saying, I think they said he took like one guy with him, and then he just went jogging in Central Park, because you're more likely to draw attention to yourself if you have like 15 guys, whatever, jogging with you. They're going to notice that. But it's just two guys jogging together in the park. Nobody's going to notice. Oh yeah, people are saying Bradley Cooper. That's another great one. That's right. I mean, name it. Yeah, everybody lives in New York, right? A lot of celebs. So I'm sure they get around just fine. But for some reason, Meghan needed to have some sort of oh, here you go. And then spot the difference. Look at the difference. Relaxed, fun, not, I don't know, not Meghan about it. I don't know how else to say it. So here's Prince William from his visit in New York. Let me go back to Meghan though, because I'm not done making fun of this. So she goes to this Broadway night out. Okay, 4-car motorcade, as you do. How many security vehicles does it take to escort that one? If you're Meghan Markle 4, I'm just going to read a little bit of this and then I'm going to make fun of it. I just want to get through some of this because this article is pretty good. Again, thank you, Spicy and Squeegee, so much. I've got to stop playing with this because I keep dropping it. Hold on. All right. Yeah, look at me. That's right. That's good. Thank you, an old geezer. Arnold. All right. The Duchess was taken to Broadway show Gypsy. Anybody else find that funny? I do. Okay. I'll just leave that there and let you think about why that might be funny that she went to see Gypsy. Can't think of a reason. Me neither. Okay. 3 SUVs and an unmarked police car. Okay. Page 6 learned that Markle hired former Secret Service agents as part of her private security detail, and that the unmarked vehicle, which belonged to the New York Police Department, had 2 intel detectives inside of it. I hope she had to pay a fortune, and I hope it came out of her pocket. That's the part I'd like to know. Here you go. Here's a picture. Again, thank you, Squeegee, for this. A picture of the cars. I'm sorry. This is just so crazy to me. She needs 4. She's in that much danger. I'd like to remind you all the hair is just in Ukraine, but she's in that much danger. Nobody cares. Nobody. Literally nobody cares. Oh, I wanted to show you this. So again, thank you, Spicy, for this. This came out of Vogue. I'm mixing articles because I want to show you. So according to Vogue, she was there with interior designer Nate Berkus and Jeremiah Brent. Okay. Nate Berkus is an interior designer. I've heard his name before. And I'm thinking, why would an interior designer want to pal around with Meghan? Like, what is HG color? Duchess of Industrial Beige? So I just think that's even funnier that she'd be hanging out with. You'd think she could bring down his business, just saying. Okay. So here's more ridiculousness of the car parade. I mean, yeah, we don't have to read all that. Oh yeah, they point out Jay-Z even like travels around without a 4-car entourage and stuff. I mean, Taylor Swift lives there. It's just like these people are just used to it, but not Meghan. She needs the look at me. But But here's some pictures from the event. There's something that I wanted to show you. Let me go back. Okay. Oh, and then again, thank you, Squeegee, for this. Squeegee is pointing out that that's Tracy on the right and Brian on the left. Remember, from Jamaica. They are the friends from that. They went to Jamaica, and Tracy Robbins is her name. She was on As Ever Meghan. So uh I wonder aloud if it's something like maybe grifting opportunity, like an invite through them type situation. I also want to point out, and I have her name, and then I didn't bring it with me. Hold on one second. Let me pull it back up. Okay. So this lady right here. Okay. So she's a Broadway star, and I know the twins know her, and I'm trying to remember. I want to say her name is Audra. I will look it up. The twins are huge fans of Broadway, so they immediately recognized her. But she's in Gypsy, and Meghan was taking photos with her. And the reason that this is interesting is because this actress back years ago had sent out support for Meghan. It's the most over-the-top ass-kissy thing you've ever heard. Like, I don't know how Meghan does it. I mean, it's basically what we heard on that podcast, right? About, I don't know how you do it, Meghan. So this woman had tweeted out support several years ago for Meghan, saying, I don't know how Meghan does it with all the whatever coming her way. And it's like, I think it was vitriol is what she said. And I thought, the vitriol is coming from Meghan. Hello? Like, we're talking, these were in the days of Her Majesty the late Queen and stuff. Who are we supposed to feel sorry for here? Who's the one trolling whom here? So I just think the whole thing's crazy and ridiculous. But of course, Meghan can never miss an opportunity like this. So here she is in the photos. All right. I'll give her that she didn't wear beige. I personally tend to like houndstooth, so I don't hate this outfit. I cannot for the life of me, I cannot. And I'm not a fashion person. You know this. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I cannot for the life of me understand why she pulls everything up to her neck. And I always get a million comments saying, Jen, she's high-waisted. Fine. Figure that shit out and pull your pants down or pull your skirt down. What is this? What am I looking at? I don't know. I just don't think it's flattering at all. I don't. But again, I think she was more going for this comparison. We got lovely Diana and Houndstooth. I believe that's what she's going for. Let me get back into this article, see if there's anything else worth talking about. There's really not much. Just that she took 4 cars to go see Gypsy. I think she had been to the Polo, I think it's called the Polo Lounge beforehand. I just always assume everything she does is bullshit. So it's going, oh, hi, how you doing? Everything she does is BS. It's going to be some sort of shrouded in mystery event. I don't know. I just think she wanted attention. So she jetted off to New York, probably on somebody else's private plane would be my guess. I'm guessing maybe their private plane. There you go. There they are in Jamaica together. That will never not be funny to me. Never not be funny. He's like head of power. He's very high up in Paramount. So of course, I don't know if he's still with them, but of course she's palling around with them. But never not funny to me. This is where she wore a ball gown to a movie theater, and then they were not sitting in great seats, and they seemed to be like very mad about that. Yes, thank you, Squeegee. Look at me. Look at my jewelry. That's right. She's very much playing look at me. Look at my jewelry as she does this. I don't know. I just can't with these two. Oh, this is great. I want to give a shout out to fan of the Prince and Princess It Cuts Off. It's Tribes Britannia. I shout them out quite often. And it says, all the Hollywood A-listers were invited to Othello on Broadway. Meghan Markle wasn't invited because everyone can't stand her. She had to turn up 2 weeks later for Gypsy. I thought that was pretty great. And I love this picture that they put alongside of it. Then we have this. Now, again, shout out to Squeegee and Spicy for getting these images for me. And I got to give a shout out for Squeegee. And I know she'll hate it, but Squeegee was brilliant here because I just couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, what am I looking at here? What is this picture? As you do. Just I just assumed it was center of attention stuff, right? Center of attention stuff. Squeegee points out, no, look, she thinks she's singing. I'm like, oh my God, she's singing. She's singing to the Broadway stars. I'm dying of cringe and embarrassment. I think she is. I think that is so funny. I think she's singing to the Broadway stars. Um, let's see. I won't defend her husband. I won't either, Tessie. I won't. And I've seen some other supers. I'll read all of your supers in just a little bit. I know, right? Come on, an old geezer. You gotta, you like that picture, right? Oh, goodness gracious. I know. I'm scared. That's what she's doing, right? She's an alien trying to be human. That's right. That's what I always say. It's like an alien pretending to be human, but getting it a little bit wrong. You said she was auditioning for, oh, sorry, it just jumped up. Hold on, Spicy. Where'd she go? You said she's auditioning for Soho House. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, something's going on here. I call this how do I say that nicely? Sexy time doll. I don't know what's happening, but yeah. But Squeegee said maybe she's singing, and I thought, oh, that's what she's doing. She's singing for the Broadway stars. Goodness gracious. But even if not, even if she's just talking, like, nice. I got to get an FFS out of Spicy sometime before this chat is over. But hold on, mouth open. Where'd it go? I just saw it. Mouth open, too many jokes. I know, right? I know, seriously. Hey, guys, can we take a quick time out and play caption this picture? Ready? Go. Wrong answers only. What's Meghan doing? Or right answers. What's Meghan doing? Let's play caption this photo real quick as I take a deep breath and try to keep my head from exploding and take a sip of something to drink. Caption this photo. All right, Megan's towel says this: the only voice I want to hear is my own, the malignant narcissist. And we got these pictures, so oh God, make it stop. And then this one, I can't make sense of this. Is this meant to be like a genuine laugh? Because I go back to what I said, which is it's an alien that's pretending to be human and just not quite getting it right. I don't know what's going on there. All right. Let's see here. And then we have this one. Okay, now I want to show you this video. I have the video to accompany. Wait for it. Here we go. Here's the video that goes with it. There's no sound, but I'm just going to play it. Again, thank you, Squeegee, for this. Shout out to Harry's gray suit, who had this. It's just on repeat. It's just Meghan being very manic and scratching, which I said, thank God she's scratching up north, because usually she's scratching down south. You know what I'm talking about, and it is disgusting. Here you go. Now, somebody had said this looks like, or they wondered if it was a side effect of the jam. Maybe so. Yeah, and then I got to give a shout out to Revealing the Narc. I think it was Revealing the Narc said something that really made me laugh, which was Meghan at events like this looks like a Roomba when it gets confused and stuck in the corner of a room. I thought that was brilliant, because mine does that. Mine gets goofy. It hits the corners of my wall. I have a Roomba, or like the cheap off-brand, but it gets confused in the corners, and it just starts like malfunctioning and spinning and bumping into things and like, we saw that in the fires, and then we're seeing it here. So shout out to Revealing the Dark, because that's pretty darn funny. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something weird going on there with that. And then, so this person is referring back to that, saying side effects of the as ever raspberry spread. It makes me laugh that she still has to call it spread. Let's see. So that's from the New York trip, and I still have lots more to talk about with her, but I wanted to show you that from the scratch and sniff. That's right. Where did her hair go? Where did anything go? Why does her face look different every time we see her? I'm not even trying to be that person. I'm really not. I don't like to talk people's looks so much because, like whatever. But with her, it's just a little different. One, she's definitely gone after everybody else. But let me just go back. I just want to show you. I don't understand it. I have no idea. Is she changing veneers a lot? Is that part of it? People have speculated changed noses several times. I understand that, weight has shifted. That's fine. But it's just, I've never seen anybody change faces so much. I think it's very bizarre. No one is paying attention to her, and she's going full tilt. Yeah, you know what? Maybe so. What's funny is Spicy calls her a full tit. So that works too. But yes, I think so. I think you're right.